thank you very much. And you know,
You're welcome.
we always have to have our chickenness and our cowness and our humanness or something. Or something. And then you talk about how, you know, we will create a lot of, you know, we'll dispose of our waste and like, and then we seem to produce so much waste at the same time, don't we?
Right.
Which is, John's been hearing me saying stories about like, how can I have plastics that, what ways can we reuse things and recycle things, and, you know, we'll go to a grocery store and I'm like, well, it's really convenient if you buy things shredded in this form. And he's like, yeah, but it comes in a bunch of separate plastic bags that aren't recyclable. I'm like, very good point. We'll do the work ourselves. You know, and you just try to think of things like that, because it's amazing how much to make people's lives easier produces so much waste and things that you can't be able to recycle or help with or anything. But I'm not gonna, I'm like the crazy queen that talks about all that stuff, which I'm psychotic that way and I should stop. And so I should be saying, yay, welcome officially to round 2, I guess, for the Poetic License Open Mic. You guys are triple plus awesome. And I keep looking going, hey, there's more artwork. And that one's from John Singer Sargent. So I couldn't read it on the thing, never mind. But anyway, this is the beginning of round 2 for it, and usually in round 2, I share poetry from the other literary magazine that I run, which is Down in the Dirt magazine. This one is titled Oasis. They are based on accepted writing within it. We find one that's a cool sounding title and we're gonna have to go with that. And I managed to find this shot from Pixabay, I believe, which the rights able to pull off, and I edited this thing so that it looks like this door is like an open book for Oasis to go in. And I hope you guys like it. It was actually released yesterday. It should have been released on the 1st of the month, but you know, they were getting a little bit late because of Christmas stuff from Amazon, and I'm looking at a couple of the poems right in here for you guys. This first one I would like to share with you is titled Otherwise Forget Life. And it was actually written on the 29th of December for the 1970 due date that the last weekly release of Life magazine happened. So this is something, I think I was writing, you know, coming up with something for every day of the year, and I saw this was a fascinating one, especially when we were always creating and contributing and learning about life, and it was a fascinating magazine, so why don't I share something about it? This is called Otherwise Forget Life. Like looking through old photo albums, we all adore those chances to reflect on life. Maybe you find an old box in storage stacked with black and white photos of the life of your ancestors, and you suddenly see fleeting images on frayed pages of a life you may never fully understand. And this is because of the weekly publishing of life. For I know the beauty of seeing my words, my images on laminated pages, showing life in full color for the world to understand, because that is one exquisite thing, to see life the way no one else can. And then to share those stories, those images, to give the world life. We look for these things, these photo albums, because they help us not only catalog life, but also help us remember what we could otherwise forget. For we often forget what life is all about. This is why we need those scrapbooks, those photo albums. They give us life, and for some strange reason they also help us by somehow making our life more complete. That's a strange one for you guys, but as I said, that was from Oasis, and it was from Events of the Year, which is why I had also from Scars Publications released the book. Every Event of the Year came in 2 volumes. This one is volume 2 because this was for the end of the year when this happened, and it comes up with so many weird things, which is why I've got another one that is in both of these books. Not only the one about Life magazine, but the one that is titled Verses on Display, and it was written on the 5th of October, October 5th, for the UK's National Poetry Day, which is actually the first Thursday in October. So this is called Verses on Display. What if you arrived at Heathrow Airport and saw Shakespeare verses on display, or made it to the Paddington train station, or maybe the Waterloo to see T.S. Eliot verses appearing on assorted light boards. And what if you stopped, looked up at those verses, maybe read a stanza, and saw how it may have changed your mood for some brief moment before you were on your way? Maybe once in a while you need a reminder of how poetry infiltrates every aspect of our lives, from nursery rhymes to rap, to singing the country's national anthem in unison, to not being able to shake that pop song stuck in your head. Poetry throughout history has been a medium to pull at our heartstrings, to tell detailed stories, or to teach our children, to dance to on your wedding day, and to make you feel a bit more alive for once more. For poetry is the gift that should be remembered everywhere. For UK holiday of National Poetry Day. Thank you, you guys. And as per usual, I'm going to do the last two pieces for another periodic table element that happens to appear in Oasis. Ta-da-da. And it's for Chromium. The first one, of course, I'm going to share with you is not only in Oasis, but also in the periodic table of poetry. And I don't know, hey, that's Max Papart. I'm recognizing the art. No, that's Klimt. Gustav Klimt. I should have been able to read that. What? Sorry, never mind. This first one for Chromium is in both of these books. As I said, it's Chromium. I hope you enjoy it. I'll try to make it not sciencey, I guess. This is Chromium. Closing the door to my stainless steel refrigerator, I thought about the popularity of stainless steel. Everyone wants to get stainless steel fronts on all their kitchen appliances. It costs more at the store, but that's the price for looking good. So I thought, stainless steel, okay. Well, what's in that? An iron? Well, but my wrought iron bed frame and sets of candle holders are pretty much black. Some of the ink is some of it's actually rusting. And what do they do to make the iron a shiny, different kind of metal? I looked online, and the answer was 24. Not 42, not the meaning of life, but the atomic number. You know, when I turned 24, when I was at work, the rep from our press called me and I told him that it was my birthday. And he asked me how old I was, and I said that I was 42. And he sounded surprised. And I told him, oh, you didn't ask me how old I felt. I'm 24. I just switched the numbers around. But really, chromium is atomic element number 24, used to make stainless steel. And then they add to over 10% of chromium to the iron to form a metal alloy that doesn't corrode. Good thing that my refrigerator won't rust. So maybe it's the magnetic properties of chromium that make this metal so appealing to people now. But this protective element has protected weaponry from Chinese dynasties thousands of years ago. So the Chinese knew, even then, that coating things with this magnetic metallic element could stop corrosion. I mean, we've all heard of things that are chrome-plated, right? Chromium not only makes things last longer, but chromium is also known for its luster when polished, which really makes for a good sell. Just go to any hangout for motorcyclists, probably on a Sunday morning in the summer, and you'll see parked motorcycles lined up one after another, each outdoing each other with more decorative chrome plating on their bikes. But then I thought chromium's even used as a chrome yellow dye, actually, for school buses. What? Chromium salts are used for wood preservatives for tanning leather. The refractory applications of chromium even worked for blast furnaces, cement kilns, molds for firing of bricks, and also for the casting of metals. Wow, so I guess chromium can really extend the life of what we see around us. So I guess it's fitting that when my birthday coincided with this element, I jokingly said that the number in question was actually the answer to life, the universe, and everything. All right, I got my Chromium things, and of course I read this at Beach Poets, and Dan left, which he had known the Beach Poets in North Chicago for that. But I might as well share one more with you guys from it that is not only in the Down in the Dirt book, Oasis. And I should say hello also to the newbie that's here, Tom. He is the Full Moon. I'm just going to call people by what it says there. I'm going to call you Full Moon from now on, my darling. And but this next one's a short one. It's not only in this one, but it's also in Twitterverse Periodic Table Poetry. It's a short one, and I'm going to share it with you, and then I will talk to Tom about appearing once at the beginning and end. We'll see how we're doing with time. This is titled Chromium Shine. You think you're tough as nails and stronger than steel, but you need to shine yourself up a bit. Give me a minute. Come into my solution and get my ions to say on you. For with me around, your act might look like you've actually cleaned yourself up. Did a short one. I did this as a bonus piece from when I was doing a Beach Poets when it was raining, and it was at a bookstore, which is why I'm sitting here in a bookstore with this really cool purple chair reading and saying, share the stuff about, and of course it was a bonus reading of a bunch of periodic table poems, which is why I was reading it off of my phone. But it was a fun time to be able to share, and even with my glasses that look like butterflies or a bow tie or something. But anyway, that was a short one for that one, and I've just talked way too much. So what I'm going to do is ask our late arrival man, Tom Woodruff, if we put you on, would you like to read, are you going to be here for the next hour or so, darling? Are you able to pull that? Then I'm going to ask, so then we're going to get you to come in and do 2 readings if you do one at the beginning and one at the end, if you are cool with that. I think you are. I think he is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So I will give the order for names for stuff, but the next reader that we've got for us is Full Moon himself. Give it up for Tom Woodruff.